that all falling to bits?
No, I put some markers.
Oh, I see.
He's a professional.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he is professional. That's what he's been doing all day instead of working. Right, I see.
I've been working on that. Budapest, he calls it.
Don't spit on it. I know, you looked today, you're going to spit on it. That was a derogatory way. I think you put markers in this. Are you ready yet?
Yeah.
Oh God, how do I get out? Do I have to have a fob to leave?
I'm not listening, Penny.
Sorry. No, I know. I'm going to get my glass.
Okay, what I'm going to do, a bit of Dracula, I think, and then we'll go on to Steel.
Right, yeah.
That's
yeah.
Do I need a fob to leave?
Okay.
I'll keep somebody else for it.
And I kind of believe in starting at the beginning. What I'm going to do is read a bit of chapter 1, and then I'll read half of chapter 1 and then the beginning of chapter 2, because I believe in reading books from the beginning, but then you meet Dracula in chapter 2. I put
Who
it,
got
I
the
put
frog?
it there. I put it there. It's on the table.
Oh, I need someone to get back to.
Okay.
That's irritating. Why don't you
Go and get the porters, they'll let you out.
Really?
Porters will let you out. Yeah.
That's fine then.
You could always let your stuff out and then walk round to the window.
No, that's all going to go horribly wrong.
Right, Jonathan Harker's journal, kept in shorthand. Chapter 1. 3rd May, Bistritz. Left Munich at 8:35 p.m. on the 1st of May. Arrived at Vienna early next morning. Should have arrived at 6:46, but train was an hour late. Budapest seems a wonderful place, from the glimpse which I got of it from the train, and the little I could walk through the streets. I feared to go very far from the station, as we had arrived late, and would start as near the correct time as possible. The impression I had was that we were leaving the west and entering the east, the most western of splendid bridges over the Danube, which is here of noble width and depth, took us amongst the traditions of Turkish rule. We left in pretty good time and came after nightfall to Klausenberg. Here I stopped for the night at the Hotel Royal. I had for dinner, or rather supper, a chicken done up some way with red pepper, which was very good, but thirsty. Memo, get recipe for Mina. I asked the waiter and he said it was called paprika Hendel, and that it was a national dish. I should be able to get it anywhere along the Carpathians. I found my smattering of German very useful here. Indeed, I don't know how I should be able to get on without it. Having some time at my disposal when in London, I had visited the British Museum and made search among the books and maps in the library regarding Transylvania. It has struck me that some foreknowledge of the country could hardly fail to have some importance in dealing with the noble of that country. I find that the district he named is in the extreme east of the country, just on the borders of 3 states, Transylvania, Moldavia, and Bukovina, in the midst of the Carpathian Mountains, one of the wildest and least known portions of Europe. I was not able to light on any map or work given the exact locality of the Castle Dracula, as there are no maps of this country, as yet, to compare with our own Ordnance Survey maps. But I found that Bistritz, the post town named by Count Dracula, is a fairly well-known place. I shall enter here some of my notes, as they may refresh my memory when I talk over my travels with Mina. In the population of Transylvania there are 4 distinct nationalities: Saxons in the south, and mixed with them the Wallachs, who are the descendants of the Dacians, Magyars in the west, and Skelskis in the east and north. I am going among the latter, who claim to be descended from Attila the Hun. This may be so, for when the Magyars conquered the country in the 11th century, they found the Huns settled in it. I read that every known superstition in the world is gathered into the horseshoe of the Carpathians, as if it were the centre of some sort of imaginative whirlpool. If so, my stay may be very interesting. Memo, I must ask the Count all about them. I did not sleep well, though my bed was comfortable enough, for I had all sorts of strange dreams. There was a dog howling all night under my window, which may have had something to do with it. Or it may have been the paprika, for I had to drink all the water in my carafe and was still thirsty. Towards morning I slept and was wakened by the continuous knocking at my door, so I guess I must have been sleeping soundly then. I had for breakfast more paprika and a sort of porridge of maize flour, which they said was mamaliga, and eggplant stuffed with force meat, a very excellent dish, which they called impletata. Memo, get recipe for this also. I had to hurry breakfast, for the train started a little before 8, or rather it ought to have done so, for after rushing to the station at 7:30, I had to sit in the carriage for more than an hour before we began to move. It seems to me that the furthest east you go, the more unpunctual are the trains. What ought they to be in China? All day long we seem to dawdle through a country which is full of beauty of every kind. Sometimes we see little towns or castles on the top of steep hills, such as we see in old missals. Sometimes we ran by rivers and streams which seemed from the wide stony margin on either side of them to be subject to great floods. It takes a lot of water, and running strong, to sweep the outside edge of a river clean. At every station there were groups of people, sometimes crowds, and in all sorts of attire. Some of them were just like the peasants at home, or those I saw coming through France and Germany, with short jackets and round hats and homemade trousers, but others were very picturesque. The women looked pretty, except when you got near them, but they were very clumsy about the waist. They had all full white sleeves of some kind or other, and most of them had big belts with lots of strips of something fluttering from them, like the dresses in a ballet, but of course petticoats under them. The strangest figures we saw were the Slovaks, who are more barbarian than the rest, with their big cowboy hats, great baggy dirty white trousers, white linen shirts, and enormous heavy leather belts, nearly a foot wide, all studded over with brass nails. They wore high boots with their trousers tucked into them, and had long black hair and heavy black moustaches. They are very picturesque, but do not look prepossessing. On the stage they would be set down at once as some old oriental band of brigands. They are, however, I am told, very harmless, and rather wanting in natural assertion. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to fast forward a little bit.